I have to end the segment. I have Avalanche's poll, which nobody commented on. It was interesting. Not one person commented on it, and I am going to read. Did you read it? You didn't read it?
I read it. Yeah, I did.
Avalanche. I don't know if he's like trying to say that snitching is cool or not, but it's what it seems like the way he has worded it. But I'm going to explain it right now, so that way people know what the fuck I'm talking about. Hold on, here we go. I'm pulling it up. Tekashi. There we go. Okay, this is, and still nobody has voted at all. The only person that even liked it was himself. So here we go. Okay, from Avalanche the Architect. Hey, I have a question for everyone. If you only knew some people for 2 years and they tried to kill you, they robbed you for over $1 million, they fucked your baby mom, and they didn't hide the fact they were extorting you, and then you get named in an indictment where you had a very limited role and the feds are asking for 48 years of your life, where you have to tell on these guys, what would you do? Now, he's talking about Tekashi, obviously, but it's just interesting the way he worded it. And then he wrote, remember, your kids will be in their 50s when you get out, and your parents will be dead, and you ain't getting no pussy the whole time, and in fact, you may even be the pussy. Fuck what any says. You would be a fucking idiot not to tell. So that's where he words it like that, and then he puts the poll up. I'm surprised that Avalanche is sticking up for Tekashi on this. Very interesting. But I'm
not, because and here's the thing, and this is what's very. A lot of people don't understand this about Avalanche, and it's something that I've noticed from afar.
Well, hold on. Let me give the two poll options. Okay. Let me give the two poll options.
Okay, got it.
First option is, would you tell and be free and get pussy? Or would you be a G, in parentheses, and not tell and be with men for the rest of your life? Those are his two options. Now, you can add more options, but those are your two that the way he wrote it. Now go on, Easy. Explain.
No, well, this is what's very interesting is, Avalanche never ever shies away from the controversial point of view. And it is very, very easy for everyone to say, oh, Tekashi's a snitch and all this other thing, when he was seriously looking at a very life-changing moment. Like 48 years, all this other stuff, the reality. We all talk about, what we would do in that situation, but we've never sat with the reality and the pressure of that moment. And I respect Avalanche for picking that side to take a look at, so that we look at it from a different point of view. And I love to encourage people to look at things from a different point of view. So I have a lot of respect for him taking that side, taking that stance.
I mean, it's an interesting way to word it, but it's funny how not one person responded.
Right.
Now, here's the deal. What would you do when you word it like that? 48 years?
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're going to be basically dead. Like, you're basically taking a death sentence to save people that robbed you. Is the way he words it. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. But that's the way he worded it. But the reality is, I mean, in the perspective that you got to look at it, at least this is going to be my opinion, that's the game you play. That's the game you play. Like, you still can't do it. That's the way it is. I mean, even the way Avalanche worded it, you can't do it. You can't do it. You got to be the quote G. I mean, like, that's
okay,
it. Like,
here's from my point of view.
There's no other way to put it.
Well, there is. There's a third option, and it's don't be in that situation.
Commit suicide?
Like, that's no.
I'm saying, if you're
don't be in that situation. You're in the situation. You have to deal with this. One, I'm never going to be that dumb.
What do you do?
But what do I do in that particular situation?
Yeah,
look, man, it's a death sentence either way. It's a death sentence either way. Either way, it's a death sentence. Either way. Let's be real. Either way, it's a death sentence. So you have to weigh out your options and see which one is the most beneficial for you.
But there's no way to weigh it out.
Hold on.
That's the thing. There's no way to weigh it out. You still can't do it.
There are ways to weigh it out. You have to make sure that when you go in, hold on. How comfortable are you going to be when you go in there? Are you going to be protected? Are they going to send you off just to die for it? Like, those are other things that you need to negotiate when you get into a business like decision like that. Because, you know, those are the other bigger things is this dude could have been just a fringe guy. And again, I'm not necessarily defending him because I could care less. One, I don't think he gave any actual damning information, and two, I don't care about this guy at all. But from a point of view, you know, before even getting into that type of situation, any type of business agreement, you're going to see what are beneficial, and you're going to see, you know, you have cover your ass moments. Where if I'm getting into a contract, like a business contract, there are ways for me to get out of that contract that are written in there that if something goes south, everyone is protected. This is what we agree upon.
Nobody does dirt like that with a fucking contract. You don't do dirt. You're not going to do dirt.
But it's an unspoken contract, though.
There's no such thing as a contract when you're in the game, bro. That's not how it works.
That's not true, because if you're affiliated with a big, we'll say, corporation.
I'm not talking about a big corporation.
When you're affiliated with a gang. No, but I'm talking about a gang. But that's fine. You're affiliated with a gang, bro. You go in.
There's no contract.
Right. But there is. There is the contract of you keep your mouth shut, you take the time, and while you're in there, your commissary will be constantly taken care of. The people at home, all their bills will be paid. There are those contracts.
Yeah, but that's not, you say contract. I mean, that's the unwritten law. That's how it's supposed to work. But
right.
Mom said they're not going to do that for him. They're already robbing the guy. He don't get that. He don't even get that. He gets nothing. But he still gets nothing.
But that's the whole thing. Like, one way or the other, this is a death sentence, and he knows that. But he's going to pick what's going to be best for him for the amount of time that he has left on this planet. It's going to be what's best for him. Period.
I guess. But I
don't think it's the right thing to do. But here's the other thing: no matter what, if you are a group or gang or an affiliation like that, you always make sure you treat everyone better for these moments. You can't ever think that you're as a gang
he was soft,
are too big, too powerful.
They knew. No, he was soft with a gimmick that they picked up on immediately. He was the golden goose that laid the golden egg because of his gimmick, but they knew he was soft, so they robbed him. Because they knew he was soft. That's what that was all about. There was no other reason.
But then
he was never a gangster.
Business around him, though. But then you never talk business around him.
Well, whatever the scenario is, he was involved. Whether you talk business, you don't talk business, he's still the goose that the golden egg. He was probably their bitch the whole time. You know what I mean? He was their bitch the whole time. They may have funded him to start him off, but he's the guy that wins the Powerball that should have never won the Powerball. That's what he is. But they knew he was soft, which is why they extorted him, they used him, they did whatever they did, and everybody knew it. Okay, and that's the truth of it, bro. That's it. He was done no matter what. He's done no matter what. He could have been a kid working at fucking Starbucks, and he had a better life than what will happen to him in his short life.
Right.
And I can't root for the guy. I'm sorry, I can't root for the guy. It's good to make fun of him. You know, we always had a good time with that. But you guys know that we have the Who is Tekashi 6ix9ine segment on YouTube from like 2 years ago on this show. Like his whole career, his entire career, we've kind of like he's been part of this show. You know what I mean? Because like he was controversial from the start. He was basically a carry the killer Kelly. He fell into that that he was Trainwreck who was famous, sort of. You know what I mean? That's why he was good to talk about on the show. But you guys know that eventually we're going to talk about this next chapter of him. He is not going to be quiet and just get away scot-free and that's it. Like that will not happen with him. That's what's going to happen.
He's pretty done.
And we're going to talk about
again. But yeah, here's the thing though. Like he is. I think this at least saves us from him being on like the next Dancing with the Stars. Like his career was pretty much over anyway. You know what I mean?
That's the best part about it. No, it wasn't. His career wasn't over. But it was going in the direction of being over.
His career was over because he couldn't, keep his penis at a 14-year-old girl.
Wow. That
feels
like that was forever ago. Like, I completely even forgot about that with all this shit. How old is this guy? Like 23? Like, Jesus God. Like,
something like that, yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking that, like, how many mistakes, like, God, by the time I was 23, I was fucking up every which way, but I wasn't doing none of this shit.
Well, exactly. But you also weren't thrust into the limelight and, told you, and made to believe your shit didn't stink. Like, that's the other thing, man. A lot of these people who get fame too quick. Yeah, but you did it on an everyday level. You didn't do it on a national fucking level. You know what I mean? The small bodega that hooked you up with that extra soda wasn't like walking into the biggest nightclub in Vegas and getting a free bottle of Dom Perignon because you had a fucking YouTube video. You know what I mean? It's a big fucking difference.
No, you're right.
Not shitting on your progress. Not shitting on your progress.
No. Hey, I'm happy my progress is where it is. Kidding me?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Celebrating my new dog.
I love it.